Okay, thank you. So that's why po, no, in this case, it's more of validity. In fact, content validity po yung hindi niya na-satisfy. So it has to be letter A. Be careful po. Next, how can we make mathematics assessment more authentic? Which of A, B, C, or D po ang sinagot ninyo? Okay? All right. Anong tamang sagot ay? I agree with letter A po mga kaguro. Because when we speak about authenticity, it's about making assessment closer to the lives of students. It's something that is reflective of what they are experiencing more often in daily life. So it's letter A, by making assessment close to real life experiences of learners. Great job po. Next. Which of the following is a good practice in writing multiple choice test questions in accordance to what Young University is suggesting? Is it A, make the choices of similar length? B, make the correct answer the longest among the rest? C, make the correct answer the shortest among the rest? Or D, make the distractors of different length from the correct answer? Saan po yung pinaka-advisable dito? And, di ba dati yung sa atin, nung kumukuha tayo ng test dati, usually yung iba no para maiikli, tapos siya mahaba, yung sinasagot natin yung yung ano yon, yung pinaka mahaba, di ba? Tama? But actually that violates a principle of assessment. And Brigham Young University as much as possible is suggesting as much as possible kung kaya ng powers make the choices of similar length. In that way po, they will really be compelled to think, not because, siya yung pinakamahaba, siya yung tamang sagot. Kasi yun yung mentality ng iba eh. So make them of similar length. Kung maaari, no, magkaparehas ng haba. May nakakuha po ng letter A? Alright. Yes, may nakakuha po ng A. Eh di wow. Pero tandaan po natin ha, kung hindi po minsan maiiwasan na merong mahaba at saka merong maikli, it is suggested that from options A to D, uh, for example, no, A yung pinakamaikli, D yung pinakamahaba. Or minsan may nakikita din po tayong yung principle ng assessment na yung A yung baliktad, no? Yung A yung pinakamahaba, D yung pinakamaikli. But normally, A yung pinakamaikli, tapos D yung pinakamahaba po. The stem of a multiple choice test is as follows. Two perpendicular lines intersect to form a blank angle. What is wrong with it? Is it A, the item is not homogeneous? B, the item is too easy for learners? C, the test item is ambiguous and unclear? Or D, grammar gives hints to the correct answer? Saan po ang sagot ninyo? Alin po dito yung sagot nyo? Sa item 173. Letter D, if you answer D, I'm happy because why? Grammar actually gives hints to the correct answer. Bakit? Di siya dahil A. And 'di ba kapag alam mo yung rules ng grammar mo, if you have a, the word a is followed by a word that starts with a consonant sound, di po ba? That's why as much as possible, avoid hints, no? Especially in grammar. So letter, tama po, no? Kung a, you are expecting that the next word is a vowel, starts with a consonant sound. Samantalang kung an naman, an, you are expecting that the next word follows, let's say, starts with a vowel sound. Okay? Next. Okay, how about this? Multiple choice test. Salit lang po ha. Okay. Multiple choice test should emphasize higher level thinking. What could this mean in the context of assessment? Is it A, B, C, or D? Saan po yung tamang sagot dito for this item? All right, if you answered letter A, you are actually correct. It means that when we speak of higher level thinking, it means that students should make use of deeper thinking rather than simply recall. It's not just all about remembering or understanding, but it could be more of, say, applying, evaluating. Okay? So letter A. 175. Within one matching test item, teachers should use a common approach, such as all terms and definitions or all principles and the scenarios to which they apply. It is important that the matching type test has, is it A, effective distractors, B, parallel content, C, plausible answers, or D, unequal responses? Okay, may sumagot ng A, may sumagot naman po ng B. Take note po, basahin po natin mabuti ha. O such as all terms or definitions or all principles and the scenarios to which they apply. Ibig sabihin po, dapat meron siyang parallel content. Ano pong ibig sabihin nito? Kapag yung isang matching test, isang set ng matching test mo ay all about persons, dapat all about persons ng lahat. Okay? Pwedeng all about terms, all about definitions. Huwag nyo po silang i-mix. Halimbawa, yung ginagawa ng iba, okay, item number 11, tao yung hinahanap. Item number 12 sa matching type niya, hayop yung hinahanap. Item number 13, pangyayari. No. Within one set, dapat same po. Kung tao, tao lahat. Kung hayop, hayop lahat. Kung pangyayari, pangyayari lahat. Parallel content. Letter B. Next. The following are advantages of essay tests in mathematics education. Which of the following is not? Is it A, uh, allow for deep learning and connections? B, allow students to draw on research and reasoning to provide justification and show integration? C, they give opportunity to assess a student's writing ability? Or D, it is difficult to prepare than other item assessment type? So saan dito yung hindi advantage? Letter? Okay, so check nyo po ha. I think naririnig po ako ng karamihan, no? So check po natin yung connection natin. So it's letter? Very good. It's actually letter D. It is difficult to prepare than other items or assessment types. In fact, relatively speaking, no, mas madali po siya. Yun nga lang, ang mahirap sa kanya ay ang mag-score. So letter D po ang tamang sagot. All right. 177. A grade 7 learner cannot understand the abstract concept of addition of integers. This implies that the teacher has to go back to what stage of cognitive representation? Is it A, enactive, B, iconic, C, symbolic, or D, A, B, and C are correct? Hindi niya pa ma-understand? Yes, mahirap po mag-check. So saan ka dapat babalik? Kasi hindi niya maintindihan yung abstract concept. So, A, B, and C, kailangan mo muna bumalik sa letter A. And active po, letter A. Di ba meron po tayong CPA approach? no? Sa pagtuturo ng mathematics. Kapag sinabi po, the first one is inactive, yung concrete. Inactive, it's all about the concrete. So you are using manipulatives or actual objects po. Yung iconic naman po, it's what we call pictorial representation. So halimbawa, wala kang actual objects. So yung gagamitin mo po ay pictures ng objects na yan. Yung symbolic naman po, yan yung abstract natin or use of symbols natin. So halimbawa po sa pag-add ng integers, gumamit ka na ng chips, no? Yung mga counters ng coins. That's inactive po. Kapag gumamit ka naman ng pictures, let's say gumamit ka ng pictures to teach addition of integers, iconic po yan. Yung symbolic naman, halimbawa, 9 plus negative 8, sinulat mo siya. So that's already symbolic. That's why yung kadalasang mali no, minsan is nag-a-assume tayo na alam na nila, nagdumidiretso tayo sa symbolic. So kailangan natin yung inactive, no? So yung gumagamit tayo ng actual objects, concrete objects by action, inactive, no, by actions, okay? So to understand mathematics better. So letter A po tayo, okay? Kailangan natin bumalik sa inactive or yung concrete representation. Letter A. What do you call a measure of an item's ability to put into distinction between those who scored high on the total test and those who scored low? Is it A, item analysis, B, difficulty analysis, B, discrimination analysis, or D, plausibility analysis? Okay. Letter A nga ba? Kasi majority sa inyo sumagot ng A eh. Be careful po ha. The measure of an item's ability to put into distinction between those who scored high and those who scored low. Meaning po, kaya niyang i-separate yung mga quote-unquote, yung mga matatalino sa mga quote-unquote, hindi masyadong sa mga taong mababa yung score. So, it's actually letter, when we say item analysis, actually, there are many ways to analyze an item, particularly multiple choice tests, no? One of them is by using difficulty analysis or by employing, no, by finding the difficulty index of a certain item. That is, it measures how easy or how difficult an item is. The nearer difficulty index ranges from 0 to 1. The closer it is to 0, the difficult an item is. The closer it is to 1, the easier an item is. The correct answer is actually discrimination analysis. So it checks, no, kung masa-separate, kaya ba ng item na yan na i-separate yung mga high achievers sa mga low achievers. So it's actually letter C. And when we speak about plausibility analysis, no, or your plausibility of distractors, it could be used to analyze distractors of multiple choice items. So letter C po ang tamang sagot natin. Okay, careful po ha. Yung B, C, and D are actually under item analysis. Okay? But it asks for a specific one, so we have to choose letter C. I hope na clear po sa atin sa letter C po. Next, in performing item analysis, the number of people in the upper group is blank the number of people in the lower group. Is it A equal to, B less than, C greater than, or D unequal? Okay, what do you think po? Dapat sila ay equal po. So halimbawa, kung meron kang, for example, no, kapag sinabi po nating upper group, sila yung upper, yung top, yung top, no? For example, Sila yung upper 1/3. Pwede rin upper 30%. Depende sa context, no? So sila yung top. For example, yung upper group mo, top 10 scorers. Yung lower group mo, yung bottom 10 scorers, no? Pero dapat equal po sila, no? Kung so merong 10 sa top or upper group, dapat meron din pong 10 sa lower group. All right. Next. There are more people in the lower group than the upper group who got the multiple choice item number 7 right. This implies that the item has blank discrimination. Again, sabi niya, marami sa lower group ang nakakuha ng tamang sagot kaysa sa upper group. Is it A? Does it have A, positive discrimination, B, negative, C, 0, or D, undefined? Marami ang sa lower group. Ibig sabihin po, marami po sa mga mabababa, marami sa mga taong mababa ang score ang nakakuha ng item na yan compared sa mga nasa upper group. So, ibig sabihin po, meron siyang A nga ba o B? And ang tamang sagot po ay kapag sinabi po nating positive discrimination index, marami sa upper group ang nakakuha ng tamang sagot kaysa sa lower group. A negative naman po means that more from the that the number of people who got the item right in the upper group is less than the number of people who got the item right in the lower group. You have a zero discrimination kung magkaparehas po na ang dami ng nakakuha ng tamang sagot in both upper and lower groups. So it's letter B. Be careful po. Kapag mas marami nakakuha ng tamang sagot sa upper group, positive discrimination. Pero kapag mas marami pang nakakuha sa lower group, negative discrimination po yan. So letter B. 181. What do you call a symmetrical bell-shaped curve representing the probability density function of a normal distribution? Is it A, skew to the left, B, skew to the right, C, normal distribution, or D, a symmetrical curve? I hope makaka-perfect tayo sa item na to. And ang tamang sagot ay, we are very familiar with this, no? It's actually letter C, your normal distribution curve. It is a symmetrical bell-shaped curve representing the probability density function of a normal distribution. The area of a vertical section of the curve represents the probability that the random variable lies between the values which delimit the section. So meaning, letter C po, no? Normal siya. Kapag sinabi natin skewed to the left, marami ang nakakuha ng mataas na score. Skewed to the right, marami ang mababa ang score. Next, which of the following statements is true? A, a statistic and a parameter are related but are not the same thing. B, not related, they are not the same thing. C, related but are the same thing. Or D, not related and are the same thing. So ano po ang tamang sagot? It's letter. Very good. Letter A po. They're actually related but not the same thing. Kapag sinabi po nating when we say parameter, ito po yung isang example. These are values that you computed from the population. Whereas kapag sinabi naman po nating statistic, these are values that you computed from the sample. In reality, related po sila. Because if the sample is representative of the population, then whatever is the mean for sample might be close to the real mean of the population. Pero hindi po sila magkaparehas. Kasi yung statistic ay computed sa sample, samantalang ang parameter naman po ay computed from the population. Para hindi po kayo mawala, they begin with the same letter. PPSS. Parameter, population. Statistic, sample. Okay, good job po. Letter A. Next, Dr. Enka is interested to find out if a certain type of pill is effective for weight loss. What research design will he use to achieve such purpose? Is it A, causal comparative, B, correlational, C, descriptive or survey, or D, experimental? And your answer is causal comparative? You should conduct. When we say causal comparative studies, it is a type of research, it is a family of research designs used to examine potential causes for observed differences found among existing groups. Again, existing groups. In this case, however, the groups are not yet existing, but you, as a researcher, control them. When we say correlational, research design is a type of non-experimental research method that examines the relationship between two or more variables. So halimbawa, if you would like to establish, may relationship nga ba ang height at saka weight ng isang tao? So it's, yan. Descriptive or survey, it aims to accurately and systematically describe a population situation or phenomenon. It can answer what, where, when, and how questions, but not the why questions. And lastly, experimental design naman po utilizes the scientific approach. It establishes procedures that allow the researcher to test a hypothesis and to systematically and scientifically study causal relationships among variables. Letter D po, experimental. Kasi kung gusto mong malaman kung effective siya, you could have a control group and you could have an experimental group and check if there will be a significant difference. For example, no, in the weights before and after. Check mo rin also kung meron nga bang significant difference or nag-decrease nga ba significantly yung weights nila, halimbawa. So experimental po, eksperimento po kayo. That's why, no? Yung survey po halimbawa, yung mga level-level na yan, what is the level of students' anxiety? Descriptive po yan or survey type of research po yan. But in this case po kasi, gusto mong malaman, no? You could set up an experiment for that purpose. Next, which of the following could be the number of modes of a standard normal curve? All right. It is letter. Very good. Letter A. Tandaan po natin na that the normal curve or normal distribution is unimodal. Meaning, meron lamang po siyang isang peak at o isang mode. That's why it is, in fact, the middle number, no, yung dito po sa pinakagitna, that represents the mean, median, and mode. They are all located at the center and meron lang pong iisa dyan. They are all one. Isa lang po siya. Isa lang ang mean, isa lang ang median, isa lang po ang mode. Yes, thank you po, Ma'am Ann. Tama po. Next, consider a normal distribution with a mean of 7. What percent of the data set is higher than 7? Is it 8, 25, 30, 45, or 50? Okay, 50? If you answered 50, you are actually correct. Let us also remember, no, that based on the illustration I have given before this item, 50% of the data are below the mean and 50% of the data are also above the mean. That's why since your mean is 7, it's already understood that 50% of them are higher than 7. Letter G. Great job. Next. A teacher correlated students' mental health needs and expectations and a positive high and significant relationship was determined. It means that, again ha, positive yung relationship, high and significant. Ano pong ibig sabihin nito ng kapag sinabi nating positive relationship? As it means that as mental health needs blank, then expectations has a tendency to blank. Is it A, increase, increase, decrease, increase, increase, decrease, or change, change? Okay, what's your answer po? Letter A, increase, increase. And if you answered A, take note po, when we say positive correlation, as one variable increases, the other variable also increases. In fact, yung negative correlation naman po, as one increases, the other decreases, and no correlation tells us that there's no relationship between the variables. Ang positive correlation po, same direction. Increase, increase. Or kung nag-decrease, yung ikalawa, decrease din. Okay? Samantalang yung negative correlation naman po, magkaiba po yung direction nila. It's either nag-increase, kung nag-increase yung first variable, decrease yung second, or kung nag-decrease yung first variable, mag-i-increase po yung second variable. So here, dahil positive po yung sabi, it means as mental health needs increases, then expectations has a tendency to also increase. Letter A. Good job, mga kaguro. Very good. Okay. But if not, sige lang po, at least it's a learning experience. I asked my friend to guess my age in years. He answered 30. This answer is an example of a or an blank estimate. Is it A, interval, B, point, C, nominal, or D, ordinal? Which is correct? Okay, many of you answered B, meron din na sumagot ng C, but majority of you answered B, no? And tandaan po natin ha, meron lamang pong dalawang uri ng estimate. The first type of in statistical estimation, we have what we call point estimate, which is a single value given as an estimate of a parameter of a population. A sample mean is a point estimate of a population mean. And yung point estimate po, single number po yan. Halimbawa, tingin ko, for example, sabihin mo sa student mo nga, okay, looking at my face, how old am I? Let's say, sir, mukha kang 25. Ito naman di mabiro. Okay, so that's a single number, no? That's a point estimate. Halimbawa, pero I mean, kapag nagbigay naman siya ng range, that is already an interval estimate. An interval estimate is an interval within which the value of a parameter of a population has stated probability of occurring. Halimbawa, hindi mo alam yung age niya. So sabihin mo, siguro sir, nasa 20 to 27 years ka. That's an example of interval estimate. And note that the point estimate is always within the interval estimate. So dahil dito, no, dahil nagbigay ka ng isang number to estimate something, then what you have given is an example of a point estimate. Congrats sa lahat ng sumagot ng B. Wala pong wala pong nominal estimate at saka yung ordinal estimate. Gawa-gawa ko lang po 'yon. Dalawang uri lang po ng statistical estimation ang meron tayo. Meron tayong point at meron tayong interval. Okay. How about this? I asked my friend to guess my age in years. He answered maybe within 30 and 35. This answer is an example of what kind of estimate? I believe I was able to give you the definitions so this is very good. This I already gave a range, no? So this one already involves interval estimate. Kasi nagbigay ka na ng interval or range. Okay. Next, a researcher thinks that if expectant mothers use vitamin pills, the birth weight of the babies will increase. The average birth weight of the population is 6.2 pounds. Which of the following is a possible null hypothesis? Okay, check nyo po. Which of A, B, C, or D ang tama? Sabi niya is 6.2. Yung B naman, greater than 6.2. Yung C, less than 6.2. Or D is not equal to 6.2. Null hypothesis. Your answer is very good. It has to be letter A. Because when we speak about null hypothesis, no, so usually you peg that there's no difference. You stick to the status quo or stick to what your data is saying. So therefore, nag-stick ka. That's why the average birth weight of babies is 6.2 pounds. Yung B at saka C at saka D are examples of what we call alternative hypothesis because these hypotheses do not stick to what the data is saying or to what available data is saying. 190. Mrs. Camariosa would like to determine the variability of her learners' scores in a quiz. She noted that there are no outliers and that the distribution is approximately normal. She wants to determine the most reliable measure of variability, which is the best thing to compute. Okay? Did you answer standard deviation? I see letter C. And if you answered letter C, I am very happy for you. Though daming C ah. C. Sabi ni Ma'am May. Tama po. Standard deviation is the most widely used measure of variability. In fact, it is the most stable, reliable estimate of population variability, especially if there are no outliers and if your data set is approximately normal or normal. And it's best with symmetrical distributions with only one mode, like your standard normal distribution. So, congratulations po sa lahat ng C. C, tama kayo. 191. To check for consistency, teacher Kim administered two different but equivalent forms of an instrument to the same group of individuals during the same time period. What method of establishing consistency did she do? Test retest, parallel forms, split half, or KR20? Okay, you answered letter B, parallel forms. And if you, when we say test retest, you administer the same test twice to the same group after a certain time interval has elapsed. For example, nagbigay ka ng multiple choice test ngayon. Note mo yung score nila. After, let's say, 2 months or after 3 months, bigay mo ulit yung same test. Check mo yung scores nila. Kung magkakalapit nga ba o consistent. That's test retest method. Yung parallel na forms naman po, you give two different but equivalent forms of an instrument are administered to the same group of individuals during the same time period. So set A, set B. Yung set A, iba sa set B, pero yung item number 1 ng set A is parehas na concept ng parehas na competency yung minimeasure ng item number 1 ng set B. So magkaiba man yung items sila, pero each item from set A to set B measures the same competency. At dapat parehas yung kanilang difficulty level. Parallel forms po yan. Split half involves scoring two halves, usually odd items versus even items of a test separately for each person, and then calculating a correlation coefficient for the two sets of scores. So halimbawa, same test po yung binibigyan nyo sa kanila ha. Let's say 100 items. Yung kabilang side, answer nila puro even lang na items. Yung kabila, no, yung isa, yung kabilang half, answer nila yung lahat ng odd items. And yung KR20 naman po is a measure of internal consistency for examinations with dichotomous choices, meaning right or wrong lang. It produces a correlation measure between zero, where a high KR20 coefficient, for example, greater than 0.90, is indicative of a homogeneous test. So ang tamang sagot po ay letter B, parallel forms. 92. The mean score of 9 Platito is 39.79 with an SD of 5.5, while the mean score of 9 Golduck is 44.98 with an SD of 15.4. Which class performed better? So, pagibasa po, tingnan po ninyo. Saan sa kanila? Performed better. Okay? May tamang sagot ba? Letter A daw. If you answered A, 9 Platito since it has a lower SD, take note, per SD or standard deviation is all about consistency. It's actually, believe it or not, wala pong tamang sagot dyan. It should be letter E. Why? It should be 9 Platito. Oh, sorry. It should be Golduck because mataas ang kanyang mean. Take a look po, mas mataas po ang mean or average score ng 9 Golduck kaysa sa 9 Platito. Pero sa kanilang dalawa, mas consistent or mas consistent ang scores ng 9 Platito dahil the smaller the standard deviation, the more consistent or the more reliable. The higher the standard deviation, the less consistent, the less reliable. Di ba nakasaad po sa ating ano? Ito lang po yung inaabangan kong item coach. Ay, grabe siya. Wala po. Ay, walang E sa quizzes. Kasi sa instructions po natin, choose E kung walang tamang sagot. Sige lang po ah. Bonus po natin ito for today's video. Sige po. So it's letter, wala po dyan. Okay, sige lang po. Let's have 193. The mean score of 9 Platito is 39. Same pa rin, no? Which class is more consistent in terms of scores than the other? Okay, check. Basahin po natin. Is it A, 9 Platito since it has a lower SD? B, 9 Golduck since it has a higher SD? C, 9 Platito since it has a higher mean? Or D, 9 Golduck since it has a lower mean? Okay, very good. It is the standard deviation now, no? Gaya nga ng nasabi ko kanina, is the basis here. The lower the standard deviation, the more consistent. The higher the standard deviation, the less consistent. So here, letter A ang tamang sagot. 9 Platito since it has a lower standard deviation. Okay. Next. A researcher found out that a person's height is positively and significantly related to his or her weight. Which of the following conclusions is or are acceptable? A, is 1 acceptable? As height increases, weight also increases. Diba sabi natin kanina, no, kapag positive relationship, if one increases, the other also increases. Or if the first decreases, the other also decreases. So dapat same direction po sila. So A is correct. 1 is correct, I mean. As height decreases, weight also decreases. This is also positive kasi same direction sila. However, 3 is not because as height decreases, weight increases. This is already a negative relationship. So tama po si 1 and 2 and that has to be letter B. Okay. Careful po, marami po atang sumagot ng A. Take note po ha. Basta same direction, increase, increase, or decrease, decrease. Positive relationship po yan. Be careful po. Okay, siguro yung nasa mindset po natin ay dapat increase lahat. Ay, hindi po. Dapat increase, increase, or decrease, decrease. Positive. Pero kung magkaiba na yung direction, automatic, negative na po yan. Letter B. Mali po si 3. Mali pong pinili mo siya. No? Mali po yung ginamit ka lang niya. Ano daw? Next. You use paired samples t-test between English and math scores. Based on the SPSS results, which of the following can be inferred? A. English and math scores are statistically equal. B. There is a significant difference between English and math scores. C. The null hypothesis should not be rejected. Or D. English and math are scores are significantly related. But be careful po nag-decrease yung height. What we mean to say po is kapag yung height ang trend ng height ay nagdi-decrease din po yung weight. Yun po yung positive na relationship. Careful po. Okay? Sige, research po tayo. I hope na may knowledge po kayo ng SPSS. All right. There's a significant difference. Okay? And if you answered with significant difference, tama po kayo. Because paired samples t-test is, sorry, wala pong I. Dapat may I po yan. P-A-I-R-E-D. Paired samples t-test is a measure of difference, no? Of between paired data. Bakit po natin masasabi na may significant difference? Kasi po, kung titignan po ninyo yung sig-two-tailed niya dito, if this usually po, no, if it's not stated, usually we assume that it's 0.05, yung ating alpha level. If ang value po ng sig-two-tailed or yung p-value po ay greater than 0.05, there is no significant difference. However, if the value of the sig-two-tailed or p-value is less than 0.05, then meron pong significant difference. We could see that 0.000 is less than 0.05. That's why there's a significant difference between English and math scores. Meaning we have to reject the null hypothesis and that the English and math scores are not statistically equal. And hindi po natin pwedeng isagot si letter D kasi paired samples t-test is a test for differences and not a test for relationship. Letter B. Next, consider the significance level alpha equals 0.05. Which of the following p-values will make the researcher reject the null hypothesis to come up with a good decision? 0.01, 0.07, 0.18, or 0.37? Ano pong sagot natin? Take note you will only reject the null hypothesis if the p-value is less than your alpha value. Since your alpha is 0.05, saan dyan ang less than 0.05? And that is 0.01. Tandaan po natin. If the p-value is less than alpha, then you have to reject the null hypothesis. But if the p-value is greater than your alpha, then do not reject the null hypothesis. I hope na nakuha po natin. Options B, C, and D are all greater than 0.05. So they are incorrect. Very good po. Good job. Which of the following could be used to actively determine the sum of integers? Is it A, geoboard, B, colored counter, C, Cartesian plane, or D, calculator? Take note actively. Be careful po, actively. Geoboard, Geoboard po is usually used for determining areas. So I'm sorry, but A is incorrect. Actively po ha, meaning the learner has to, it's more of an active or your concrete. So saan dito? It's letter B, colored counters. So yung counters, yung mga chips, no? Yung mga magagamit yung pang-add. Be careful po, that calculator is usually used for symbolic. Like you encode there, 8 plus 9. Symbolic po yan. Nakalagay po dito actively. So it's more of an active. That's why be careful po because you might say, because I am expecting na may sasagot din ng calculator, pero hindi siya active, no? So it's more of colored counters po. Kasi dati no, yung nag-aaral tayo, may ang teachers natin binibigyan tayo ng counters, no? Na okay, ganito mag-add, okay, ganyan ganyan ganyan. Mag-subtract ganito ganito kapag unlike signs, ganyan. Letter B. You are teaching the learners how to create graphs or charts in Microsoft Excel. Which of these should the class make if they want to determine the relative number of males to females? A relative number of males to females. Relative. Letter. Very good. It is actually your pie chart or your circle graph. Kasi kapag sinabi nating relative, no? Hindi po sila hindi po sila magkakilala or hindi sila relatives. Iba po 'yon, no? Hindi po sila magkamag-anak. So at least malalaman nila no through the size na okay, mas malaki yung, for example, mas malaki yung pie para sa boys, sa males, so there are more males than females. Halimbawa ganun. Now, ang line graph naman po is for the trend, no? Like ano nga ba ang trend? Is it increasing, decreasing, fluctuating, or walang increase nor decrease? Yung pictograph naman po, it utilizes pictures and each picture as a legend. For example, one picture, let's say one lemon, in the picture means 1,000 lemons. Parang ganun po. Yung histogram naman hindi yan. Letter A. To facilitate a quadratic trinomial, to factor I mean a quadratic trinomial, Teacher Jim placed the following steps on the board. What kind of factoring technique did he use? Tignan niyo po, oh. Yung x squared plus 7x plus 12. Yung 7x, ginawa niyang x, may square po yan dito, sorry, nawala po. X squared plus 4x plus 3x plus 12. Tapos, ito. Ano pong tawag sa factoring technique na yan? Letter A. If you answered letter A grouping, tama po kayo. It's actually letter A grouping. Because in this case, no, in the third step, after this, no, after expressing 7x as 4x plus 3x, you group na yung x plus 3x and 4x plus 12. Then, finactor out yung po yung greatest common factor niya. And it arrived to x plus 3 times the quantity x plus 4. Okay. And one more. If the goal of the teacher is to compare and contrast two methods in solving mathematics to note their similarities and differences, which of the following is best to use? Is it A, Cartesian plane, B, fishbone diagram, C, Venn diagram, or D, Johari's window? All right, Venn diagram. You answered that? Okay, let's see. If you answered Cartesian plane, it's not because we know that the Cartesian plane is the union of two number lines, one horizontal, one vertical, and they meet at the point 0, 0. But its goal is not to compare and contrast. The fishbone diagram is usually used to tell the sequence of events. The Venn diagram naman po is actually the correct answer here because if you have interlacing circles, the commonalities are placed in the region that that's common to both of them. Whereas The things that are not common to them are placed separately and they do not intersect. And yung Johari's window naman po, no, it's more of use in the values education in psychology. And this one, it's letter C. All right. So that concludes our review for tonight. I am Sir Kim, and that ends my session with you for the diagnostic test. I have discussed with you the 200 items, and I am very thankful, and I wish you all joy and happiness in your journey. And above all this, I wish you love. I will always love you. O di ba kanta? Thank you very much, and have a great day to one and all.